Hello gel fans, Kristen here today, and I'm going to be talking about how to put on your gel nails. Now, if you saw my earlier video, my bonus video, I had ripped this nail here and I used a tea bag to fix it. As you can see, you can't even tell, which is really cool. That's in another video if you need to learn how to fix a broken nail. Now for this one, you're going to need a base coat, a top coat, an LED lamp, and a color of your choice. So I chose this really pretty color. It's called macaron. I learned the difference between macaroon and macaron. A macaron, I guess, is those pretty cookies that they have, and a macaroon is the ones with coconut, I guess. I thought they were the same thing, but apparently they are not. Okay, so you really want to start off with shaping your nail the right way, or whatever way you want, because once the gel's on, you really can't fix it. It's going to be that shape. You also want to prep your nail like you would for a nail wrap, which I have in another video. So if you don't know how to do that, I can absolutely share that video with you. And make sure your cuticles are all pushed back and ready to go. So your first step is to get a prep wipe. You can use one of these from Jamberry, or you can use one. I buy these in bulk. I've showed these to you before. Really cheap. You can get them at the dollar store. So you want to make sure that you wipe down your nail really well. This just kind of dehydrates the nail and makes sure that there's no oil on it, because if there's oil on there, then your nail's going to pop off, or your gel is going to pop off, and you don't want that to happen. Make sure it dries a little bit before you apply your first layer. Wave around a little bit. All right, so I'm going to start with the base coat. You just want a little bit on there. You don't want a lot. Okay, so here's the base coat, and it's a little bit wet still. All right, there we go. So I'm going to start, it's just kind of like nail polish, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit runnier, and it's not going to start to dry as you paint. So it's a different beast. Let's see. So we're just going to do all the way to the sides. Now you really don't want to get it on your skin or your cuticle, because if you do, it's going to get really hot, and that's also going to make it pop off. Now, this is the fun part. What's different with gels, you'll see people do this at the salon too. Sometimes they'll do like a swipe like that. But I really like what's called the scrubbing method. This is what we do to cap your nails. If you don't do this, you might end up with the chips on the end, or your gel's popping off. It just kind of seals it or attaches to that front little part right there. And then I always clean off my brush and then get off any extra. You really don't want it to be too thick, because if you get really thick nails, they'll also pop off. So I'm gonna get the lamp and put my hand in there. Now our lamp is timed, so it'll be 40 seconds, and you don't have to worry about keeping track, because it'll turn off as soon as it's done. So it does that all on its own, and you don't have to worry. It's actually faster than a lot of the lamps at salons, which is even better. So just while we are waiting for my nails to cure, I just wanted to show you the color that I'm going to be using. Now some people, especially if you live in a cold place, you don't want your gels to be really cold. You can either like hold them in your hand while you're waiting. I have heard of people putting them in their bra. And then I've also turned my mini heater on its side and used the mini heater to warm up your gels. If it's warm where you are, you probably don't have to worry too much, but if you're finding that they're really runny or too thick or something, then just try to warm them up first. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to get the gel out, because it's a little bit different than your lacquer, and you want to make sure that you don't have it leak everywhere. If you do it wrong, then it'll start to leak out of the bottle. So you want to pull it up, and you kind of want to do this swirling motion. They call it like the hurricane or something like that, just to get a little bit on your brush. You don't want to get a lot on your brush. If you have too much, brush it off. So again, just like your polish, you're going to start at the back and go to the front. Now this is a really, really thin coat. That's okay. You don't want to have thick coats on your nails. I'm going to flip it over and actually do the other side. If you use thicker coats, it's probably going to pop off. Now just like I did with the other one, you don't have to do this for every color layer, but I like to do it for the first one just to make sure it gets there. Flip it over and then brush. It'll kind of start to smooth out on its own. Now, one of my customers who's done TruShine was saying that, well, if it's does better when you heat it beforehand. Maybe I'll heat it with my heater before I put it in the lamp. You can do that, absolutely. I'm not going to do that because it's going to take more time this time. But now I'm just going to put it right back in the lamp. So that's just another fun trick for you. Now, if you are messy, which I might end up being messy, I have gone over it with my nails, and that kind of messes up your nails, especially if you already have gel on them or if you have wraps on them. So I like to use the orange stick to kind of clean up the edges, and I just go around the edge and then brush it off right here. Now, if you didn't see my other video, then this tip is for you. So I used to put 4 nails in and then do my other 4 nails and then do my thumbs separately. But I just learned like yesterday that you can do 4 nails and then slide 1 thumb and then do 4 nails on the other hand and do the other thumb. So that way you cut down the time. So I usually don't just do 1 nail at a time. Usually I do all of these at the same time. But for today, we'll just do the 1. So again, I'm going to pull it out, swirl, 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 get some gel on there. And this coat can be a little bit thicker than the first one. I like to make the first one really, really thin, just to kind of set that base. And again, you don't want it to touch the edge. You also don't want to get dog hair in there. Of course, my house has dog hair everywhere. We have 3 right now. We have my dog, my boyfriend's dog, and my mom's dog visiting us right now. If you get dog hair in your nails, it's the worst because then you have like that little bump and it really sucks. Okay, so we have our second coat. And usually I like to do 3 coats. I think this color is definitely going to be a 3-coat color. Some of them are thicker and you can do them in 2. And then there's 2 of them. I think it's Fresh and Black Onyx. For some reason, I always end up having to do 4 coats with them to really feel satisfied. So just so you know, those 2 are like the tricky ones. And our sparkles, I'm going to show you tomorrow. And those ones have a super secret to them, to getting a really nice thick coat on. So I will show you how to do that then. I've mentioned this many times. One of the other things that I really love about our gels and our products is that they're 8-free. I keep saying that because it really makes me feel better. As I get older, I'm sensing my own mortality and realizing that I need to take better care of myself. And one of those things is making sure I'm not putting those nasty chemicals in my body. So, all right. I know this video is like the longest video of all of them, but it's worth it. All right, here we go. This is my 3rd coat. And I'm gonna cap it again. I just wanna make sure it doesn't chip. It is a bummer if you chip your nails because you didn't do it right. All right. Looks good. I'm very happy with that. All right, pop it in one more time. Here we go. We're almost done. So the last step is going to be the top coat, and we are going to do that. You do have to have the base coat and a top coat at the very least. So if you want clear, you can just do a base coat and a top coat. If you don't use both the base and the top, it's going to not cure properly. And I have had customers that have just bought one or the other and then thought that that would be okay. And then they were wondering what happened to their nails. So it's not like lacquer or nail polish. You do have to have both. So one thing that I really like about the gels is that once you're done, you're done. But do expect to spend a little bit more extra time on it because it does take, you know, a little while to paint and then do all the coats and all the curing and everything like that. I do my jams a lot faster than I do my gels, so if I'm going to be doing it, I make sure to set aside a chunk of time. The other thing is, see, I'm just painting just like I did, and then I definitely want to go back and cap. Okay, and this one I definitely don't want a really thick coat again, so I'm going to go over. All right, that looks good. Pop it back in the lamp. Here we go. So I was saying about time, you want to make sure you set enough time to do it because unfortunately if you do mess up in the middle of it, like I accidentally went and petted the dog and then my nails were covered with dog hair and it didn't want to come out, so I had to completely start over. So you want to make sure you set aside the time for it Otherwise, it's hard to finish. So, but the good thing is that once you're done, you're done. Your nails are dry. You don't have to worry about messing them up, and that's the best part. And we are just about done. I know this is the longest video, but it is so worth it. And like I said, usually I do 4 nails, and now 4 nails and a thumb at a time, so it doesn't take as long. All right, the last step is you're gonna touch it and you're gonna say, oh, it's sticky. Why is it sticky? Gross, oh no. So you really need to get that alcohol wipe back out, and that's all you need. And you just rub it over the top, and it gets rid of all the stickiness. So that is it, ladies. That is how you do your gel nails. Thank you for sticking with me through all of that, and I look forward to our next video. If you have any questions, contact me on the information on the card or comment below, and I'll be happy to help you.